The impartial observation of the limits of life in a fish tank can provide us with an important clue as to the real nature of our planetary situation and a basis for asking ourselves what the meaning and purpose of life can be. So, in this particular chapter, the author, E.J. Gold, is saying to us very specifically, this is an impartial observation. We'll use the term impartial observation throughout the book. It's a critical tool to learn the concept impartial observation. Okay, but what he's saying here is impartial observation of limits, and he's saying of life in a fish tank. He's not saying about me as an individual, us as a worker, whatever. Right now our job is observation of life in a fish tank, and see if it gives us, if that observation gives us a clue. We're looking for clues, right? We're looking for clues that will come to us in the course of the impartial observation. So, we're looking for clues as to the real nature of the planetary situation, and then we're looking, this is important, for the basis, a basis for asking a question called, what is the meaning and purpose of our life? Okay? So when you read the chapter, this chapter is also a general rule on how to observe stuff. And remember that, it's a general rule on how to observe. Okay, so, and here we launch. So if we take the time to closely observe a fish tank, and here where I'm sitting there is a large fish tank, and I've looked at it many a time, we will notice that the tank is a closed environment, a totally independent ecosystem, which depends upon a delicate balance of interior equilibrium and interspecies orders. The fish tank is a miniature world in itself. Each living creature in the tank has its place and function. Everything is connected to everything else. Everything in the tank has its place and function. We may want to gloss over a particular fish, a particular plant, a particular object in there, but everything, everybody participating has its place and function for the whole. Every element. The plants are compatible with the pH balance of the water solution. They're neither too big nor too small. Their root system is adapted. And jumping ahead, the fish too have their necessary and inescapable roles and functions. They are selected by human beings living outside the tank according to artificial mutual compatibility. Deadly enemies would not survive. So that's one element. That's not okay to put that in the environment. But some of the species are dominant, some are submissive, some are neutral with regard to it. That environment is okay. the environment itself is constructed in such a way that the elements, you can have dominance, you can have submission, but you can't have deadly enemies. So that's something to look out for. Some fish live near the surface, never venturing to the bottom. They're bottom scavengers, usually suckers and catfish. They're the garbage collectors of the tank. Moving ahead, those that live in the middle, such as shark and red bellies, manage to live off the fish at the top, what the fish at the top have not eaten. Some fish will be quicker than others. Some consume more food and expend more energy than others. For those that live near the surface, such as goldfish and redfins, they will always be first served. So they, in a certain way, dominate the others from that limited perspective. Others, like the eel, will seem to be perfectly at ease anywhere in the tank. A few creatures in the tank will seem totally oblivious to all of its activities. The turtle will quietly go about its business and basically ignore and keep away from other inhabitants. Now, so there's some creatures that in a sense don't seem to interact, and yet those creatures are a fundamental part of that whole mix, even though they are not, how can I say it, they don't appear to be the classic, they're not talking, they don't do this, they don't do that, but they're very much a critical part of it. They are part of the environment. Look around, what's in the environment. The assignment is impartial observation of life in the fish tank. The top dwellers know very little about life at the bottom, and bottom dwellers know very little about life at the top. Still, and now here we go, let us suppose that for those that are hungry to learn, information will be available. And I pointed this out, specific subspecies of fish, those that are hungry to learn. So there's some element there, I don't know what you want to call it, it's a electrochemical element that those individuals have called those that are hungry to learn. If you are in that environment, or that fish is in that environment, then something happens. Information will become available.